Hey kids, Burt Macklin, FBI here. Welcome back to the secret headquarters. Did you tell your friends about this place? Because we can't let too many people know, or else they'll know too much about our secret spy gear. Unlike the kind of missions we do here, the mission of the church isn't secret at all. But there are a couple of similarities. For example, just like a spy wouldn't be very effective in their mission without the right spy gear, without the power of the Holy Spirit, we wouldn't be very effective in spreading the gospel. The church is also similar to a spy agency because both should welcome all different kinds of people. A spy agency wouldn't be very effective if all spies were the exact same. Just like how diversity in a church makes the church strong. Today, let's hear a story about two men who are willing to cross all kinds of cultural barriers to tell the story of Jesus. But before we get into the story, let's talk about our big picture question. The big picture question is, what is our mission as Christians? Our mission is to reach people of all nations through the power of the Holy Spirit, and that's why we are here on earth. Now y'all enjoy your lesson.
Saul, who was also known by his Roman name, Paul, was with the church in Antioch. The Holy Spirit chose Paul and another believer, Barnabas, for a special work. So they obeyed and left Antioch. God led Paul and Barnabas to tell the good news about Jesus to not only the Jews, but the Gentiles, or people who were not Jews. Paul and Barnabas traveled to Lystra. Paul healed a man there who had never been able to walk. The people saw what Paul had done, and they thought Paul and Barnabas were gods. They began to worship them, but Paul and Barnabas tore their clothes and shouted, "No, we are not gods. We are men, just like you. We want to tell you the good news of God." Then some people showed up from Antioch and Iconium, cities where Paul and Barnabas had preached about Jesus. These people caused trouble so that the people in Lystra turned against Paul and Barnabas too. They threw stones at Paul and dragged him out of the city. They thought he was dead, but the believers in Lystra gathered around Paul. And he got up. The next day, Paul and Barnabas went to the city of Derbe. They told people there about Jesus, and many people believed. Then Paul and Barnabas went back to Lystra and to Iconium. They encouraged the believers there to continue in the faith. They told the believers that they would face suffering because they believed in Jesus. Paul and Barnabas also chose leaders for the churches. Finally, Paul and Barnabas returned to the church at Antioch. They reported everything God had done on their journey and how God had helped them share the good news with the Gentiles. Many people rejected the good news about Jesus. But God had a plan for Paul to share the gospel with Gentiles, no matter what troubles he faced. Many believed in Jesus. The church grew and the gospel spread so that people all over the world could be saved from their sin by trusting in Jesus.